Good morning, traders. It's 8:01 Chicago time, 21:01 Southeast Asia, where I am. I hope you're having a good morning. As the stream was trying to get opened up, I thought I'd be real clever and catch this down move here based on the ES sellout, and looks like I just about sold the bottom of the move, and then, of course, didn't move my stops and took a stop. So I'm down 160 for one this morning. I was about 170 bucks away from funding. Now I'm 3 and change. So that's kind of annoying, but that's what happens when you try to get, I suppose, a little FOMO, or I don't know. I'm thinking, get this doom, 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 doom on the ES and the NQ following suit. And I thought we'd just get a little bit, got about 4 or 5 ticks profit there, and then just turned around and went to the direction right here and right here. I thought we'd come down into here a little bit, or just down to even the second standard deviation, but we didn't. So there we are. Now we're pretty much risk off again for the day. Settle for the NQ is at 13,794. It was at 890, 890, 829 yesterday. So it's fallen down some. It's up here yesterday. There will be no gap. We're in all over the damn thing, trading all over it. Inventory is essentially short. Yes. Well, not really. Probably pretty evenly balanced, a little bit to the high side, long side, but it's a long way is trading back into value and range. So my view, that's got a little bit to do with it, and I suppose we're going to get the big, yeah. God, that's annoying when that scale does that. That is just really bad news. I gotta get a message to those guys or something, because right a minute ago we had value area high down here, thinking, oh well, there you are. Now it's up here. Anyway, so the daily NASDAQ, there we are, kind of rounded off. Yesterday I thought we would probably test these areas here, and we did, and closed on the lows. Now they're still monkeying around, and I would suggest we will come down a little bit. There's really no economic news that's going to drive much today. Crude oil inventories and about it. Basically the energy stuff, EIA and crude oil, gas inventories, all that kind of thing. It doesn't really impact the NASDAQ. Obviously crude oil or natural gas is going to sit up and take notice. Earnings calendar. What do we have going on here? And the VIX is up to almost 19, so that's good. It's picking up a little bit. That's a wonderful thing. I am not really up to speed on what's happening in the earnings markets. Well, there's a NASDAQ. That's probably fairly important. It's up. That's to be expected, I guess. Not sure how you see. Oh, okay, this was in the morning, I guess, before the open, and this is in the after the market close. For market open. Okay, there we are. I don't really see what's important or know what to look for, frankly. That's something I need to get bone up on, I would guess. So there we have it. VIX is looking a little stronger. That's good. And there's nothing really to worry about on the economic front, release front. Again, my bit of FOMO here or whatever, I'd essentially bought the bottom of that. Got 25 minutes to the open, so I won't be doing anything here. If something really dramatic starts to happen, and why would it? There's no news, there's no anything else. So see if we can get this 350 or so today and get into that funded ticket. That would be pretty nice, or at least get that $1.60 back and get positive again, and then there's always tomorrow and Friday. Because the goal of a consistently profitable trader is to manage risk and trade for tomorrow. And remember, of course, that equities and futures are not suitable for everybody. You can lose more than you invest, or than you put in your account. And past performance is not indicative of future results. Nothing that I say or do here is a trade suggestion or financial advice. This is my virtual trading log and journal. And the commentary or my speaking is to talk out loud what I'm thinking, so that when I review these tapes, these streams, I can listen to myself and say, well, you weren't thinking the right thing, or were you? The key, of course, is to trade what you see and not what you think. So I want to try to always be aware of that. And when I review them, I want to, with a clear, calm eye, outside of the market, the heat of the market, so to speak, I want to judge, am I really doing that? Am I trading what I see, or am I trading what I think? That could kind of be, not sure what to say about this trade here. There was my entry, was about halfway down that bar, and it just, for 4 points and turned around and went the other way. I think that was probably a market timing situation because of the time of day, getting ready for the, about an hour off the open. The London guys always kind of monkey it around, and oftentimes bring it back to VWAP, which is what happened. So generally better to trade the regular trading hours for me, even though I live in Asia. And the Asia close London open is usually fairly good, but I still find more consistent success with trades around the after the regular trading hours open at 0830. So absolutely beautiful, beautiful Gaussian curve there. Little dip right there, but other than that, that's just about as perfect a distribution as you could imagine. Essentially even on the extremes. And what do we got here? 68, 38, so 30 points value area. Is everything working? Looks like so. The stream is flowing. That's good. Nothing like being up a creek without a paddle. And of course, they're going to try this maneuver here. Sucker me back in again. Was quite disappointed with that trade right there. I was just thinking, oh, this is going to be great. I could pop this 170, which is just my normal profit of 10 points. Profit target, and be funded and not have to worry about this, because I do have a meeting at 9:30, so I'm going to have to play that by ear. And now they're going to run this thing back down here, and I am busy talking and being mindful of patience, so I'm not participating. And there's just about 20 points there, so that would have been the fine trade to take. But just before the open, quite volatile usually, and you never really know what the hell they're up to. I don't say. So, fine day here in Kuala Lumpur. as usual, beautiful weather and whatnot. Unfortunately, this does not have this is not Investor RT. This is Tradovate, straight across the board. Tradovate charting, Tradovate powering the Jigsaw Dome. And the Tradovate quote board here doesn't have a lag column, I don't think. Not even sure. I don't even remember how you add columns. Boop, 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 boop. Drag and drop, place on dashboard, dome chart, doodly do, forward, backward, trade, state, plus, insert header. I did make some of those changes because I put settlement and open interest in here, but I don't remember how I did it now. Select columns, there we go. Is there a lag? I don't think so. Yep. I kind of like that column on Investor RT. Again, they're doing it back down to that number and back up again. And ES is just playing around. I don't know what they're doing. So we're approaching 15 minutes to the open. Well, I would like to get this funding story locked in and out of the off the combine and take that. Even though it's self-imposed, there's a certain degree of pressure involved with it. Trying to get it done. I'm hearing bells and I don't know why. Guess it was my phone. Yeah, so that would be nice to get behind me and on the road. Tried to be as patient and calm and conservative through this combine exercise as possible. And so far, I've only had really one major lapse of good trading, and that was that $620-some loser that I just got chopped up on and was too tired to fight my way back. Not that that's always a good strategy, but oftentimes when I'm aware and alert, I can just reset my mind, and then I usually can bring that trade loss down to either a positive or something, manage a couple $100 or something, which is just normal like this is $160. Okay, every time you enter a trade, you have a 50-50 possibility that it's going to go one way or the other. I mean, the market only goes two ways, up or down. Because of this implied time that they chart on here, you get the feeling that it's moving sideways, but it doesn't. It goes up and down. That's the end of it. Like right here. Here's a perfect example of really what the market does. In the TPO chart, it goes up and down. That's all it does. And every time you enter a trade, no matter what you're back testing, no matter what the history, no matter what, it's 50-50. The very next trade is 50-50. It will either go up or go down. And in this case, I thought it was going to go down a little bit more than it did, and it turned around and went up, and I didn't move my stop, and I got stopped out. And that's called trading. If you don't come to peace with that idea, trading is going to be a real problem for you, because losing is absolutely every bit part of trading. And I will finish that the Holy Grail series this weekend with the final second tape or second recording, and I will explain in depth the thinking and how the real secret to successful continued profitability. It's nothing new, that's for sure, and it's proven, very, very proven. So it's nothing I dreamed up. It's something that I became aware of and realized, and then looked into and discovered that, yeah, that is right. That is exactly how you do it. So I'll do that this weekend. So we have a W here, whatever that means. Little higher high, little higher low, depending on your time frame. Here's lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. On the larger time frame, there's a lower high and a lower low. Yeah. Yeah. In the time frame, this is a 20 range chart. And we're about 10 minutes to the open. Damn, I wish I could figure out some way to... Seems like every time I move my headset from my trading computer to my workstation for these meetings, something goes goofy with the audio on the stream. And I would like not that to have that not happen. Maybe I'll try just muting the audio and talking to the computer without a headset to my workstation. Hopefully it won't be a long meeting. I have 2 or 3 wireless headsets around here, but normally use Logitech wireless headsets, which use a small the micro USB to recharge, and the damn thing doesn't. That's the weak part of the system. That little plug goes bad, and then you're screwed. Oh, worky. Can't charge the damn thing. Be disappointing. Pretty disappointing. Let me see if this has enough battery to work. It seems that it does. That's good. All right, we have, yeah, we're still about 9 minutes off, 8.5 minutes off the open. Eight and a half minutes. Like my computer clocks are about a few seconds behind the atomic clock. There we go. Set that one. Let's set this one and see what we see. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's kind of obnoxious. There we go. All right. All right. What will they do? Well, we are in a risk off and we're trading right on the open. Absolutely zero gap. So we are in range in value. So one would expect, and with overnight trading like this, which has pretty much been a chop fest, I would consider that we will have an open auction. Is a euphemistic way to say a choppy trade. So I might be stuck with that 160 loss. If it's a lousy trading day, I'm gonna not be too terribly long on the stream. I have a busy day tomorrow and up at 05:30, so kind of nice when we're back on the other side. So we're trading. This is actually the morning instead of later at night. All right, so the gap is essentially going to be off, or what was settled? 96, 94. Really? 13,794. That's up here. Why the hell is settlement so far up here away from the close? That's kind of weird. Oh, 30 points off. Well, there will be a gap to settlement, and that's why. I just didn't think. I mean, settlement is not usually ever right on the close, but I didn't. Wasn't aware that it could get so far off. Almost 40 points. Would have been right there. Well, so that's even more probable that we will have an open auction rather than a drive. But we just have to see. what we will see. Back to the VWAP as we get into the last 5 minutes. After first couple minutes of the open here, I will have to join this meeting because I'm one of the principals in it. So I will just mute my audio and use this wireless headset. I'm gonna have to work on that over this weekend and see if I can't get that little plug soldered back together so I can charge it again. Everything's completely fine about the headsets, just that stupid little place where you plug the mini USB charging cable into it to charge the battery. So that's the same problem I've had on at least 2 of these Logitech headsets, and they're not cheap. They're 100 and some bucks each. Pretty irritating. Anyway, so and all the plug does is charge the battery, not any other function. So really irritating when you know everything about the headset's working just perfectly, except battery's going to go dead on you. And they're going to keep it right on that. Right on that VWAP. And essentially the close. Get that. And right in value, right in range. POC is a little bit below from the Globex. So hook in and hang on. Remember that your goal as a trader is to trade for tomorrow, manage your risk. You want to take as many samples or trades as you can in your data set so that your edge can manifest itself, and that will equate to consistent profitability. It's an age-old, proven revenue model, very successful in other industries, which I'll talk about in the video this weekend, or the recording this weekend that will be posted up. Be the second or the final of the Holy Grail. Oh, damn. We're open. And they're off. Not far off, but they're off. They're up about a whisker there. They're up 4 or 5 points and then down the other direction. ES is launching off in a big way. Up to VWAP anyway. We're in value and in range, and just below the peak of the distribution on that yesterday's. Okay, now they're starting the damn stream. So get over here to the meeting. Join now. Okay, I was joining now. All right, I'm going to have to, as much as I hate to miss this first part of the stream here when there's could be some opportunity. So I'll join you again here pretty quick. Well, sorry for that jump off to the meeting there of nearly 30 minutes, but it's over with. And I suppose you have noticed that I did pick up a little short here at the end of this when I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm back to positive. So I've made back that 160, that first loss. So we're 1-on-1 and $5 up. Longest winning trade was 1 second. You gotta love that, don't you? 1 second. 150. That's too wonderful. But I missed all of this up move, busy talking there, and that would have been the that would have closed out the funding. Darn it! But not bad for trading out of the corner of my eye, I guess. And I'm back in the game. Trading for tomorrow. Got goal here is 53,000 for the funding, funded account with funded trader. So $180. And we approach the top of the hour. Nice move on the ES. We traded almost across value here. Value is right there. Not quite, but almost. That would be the normal thing when you start out in value or trade into value and find acceptance. You normally trade across that value area in the auction process. So we're about 805, about 15 ticks off there. 20 ticks. I'm sorry, points. That's exactly what they're up to. That's the part of this up move. And this is looking pretty toppy to me. We have put in we have the Globex stat has been satisfied, both directions actually, down and up. That's a rare one. I think it's 23 or 24% of the time does it take out both. So generally, you would think that if they'd taken out the lower, which they did do, that you could lean on this upper boundary, that it wouldn't take it out. But obviously, their ES is the overriding force here, and this is going to continue up to wherever it's going to continue up to go. Here's yesterday's regular trading hours. This is the VWAP at 814. We're at that big fat round number of 800. Just a little leery to ride that. It's hard for me to get on that kind of a move. POC has jumped up. ES is very definitely well, that's what's happening. ES is making up all this ground. They're repairing all this damaged low volume areas across here from yesterday's regular trading session. right here, and now they've traded right up to area right up in here, or probably will. Definitely one time frame and higher when you look at this on the ES 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're not turning around. That's an opening drive and a spectacular one, actually. 20 points on the ES. ES is $50 a point, $12.50 a tick. And the NASDAQ is $5 and $20 a point. So you can make a hell of a lot of ground in a big hurry with the ES. It's just like trading an additional contract over here. Had I thrown on that an extra contract or two, which I can trade up to 5, I would have been long time funded here. Just with a short, just with one of those short regular 165 or 160 brackets. Couple of contracts, and all of a sudden you're there. Of course, it's manage your risk, and you're also, if it goes the other way, like right over here, and you've got 5 contracts on, well, all of a sudden it's 160 times 5 down. So pulling back here from the value area high to the POC. And we're straight up 10 o'clock, 10:02, 22:02 over here, and 9:02 or 9:03 Chicago time. So we've just changed to the B bracket, and we have a poor high with the brackets being no excess. 90% of the time that's repaired, especially when we have just a little ways to go. That value area high, oh, right there, they took it right up to the value area high, and that's where they quit. I would be a little surprised if they don't repair that, at least across maybe to halfback. Here. Nice bounce off the POC for the NQ. Why? I don't know. Oh, I wish the Renko chart worked here. Watch this. Everything disappears. You have no cumulative delta, no VWAP, no relative history, nothing when the Renkos are working. Really irritating. Disappointing, irritating. Not irritating, but disappointing, I guess. Be right back. Well, kind of a dicey looking deal here. They're really trade them up. And we have no excess on the top of this profile, and still same story right here. This is a little clearer to see. We have a really poor high there, right at the top of value. My initial reaction would have been to expect this short to play down to this consolidation area, VWAP perhaps, this spike. But when you're coming past the POC, it's just not good probability. The POC being the most heavily traded price, most volume, means the most accepted place that people like to trade the most. And so that's the most likely spot to get your face ripped off. And I'm not in the mood for face removal today. I want to just, I'd like to throw another one on there to get a nice trade up, but I'm thinking I'm going to call this stream with my fantastic $5 winner. And it's hump day. And I think this week, Thursday and Friday, we got the employment numbers, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not. So I don't know what to think about this right here. ES is just banging around $1.40. Can't get above that. And our high on the ES is 830, is it? 804, I'm sorry. And they've taken out both high and low of the Globex, which is a little bit rare. And what a tight Globex that was. Look at that thing. So you would expect higher prices because they haven't auctioned this up here to get any excess. Same way with down here. And the one-time framing is still in effect over here because, oh no, I'm sorry, it is not. One-time frame is broken. One time frame meaning each candle is trading higher highs and higher lows, doesn't take out the low of the previous candle. So we're one time framing up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 periods of 5 minutes, 25 minutes, and then pulled back. Now they look like they might want to take that down, but I've been suckered out before when they come down there and do that, and then just don't go another inch lower. Same way with it here. You'd think they're gonna gets that momentum down, and it looks to me like it's gonna just continue down where you think it would be, at least to this volume spike. POC perhaps, VWAP perhaps, away from POC, but it could get sucked right back. That POC and that magnet. And the ES is coming along with them. should they actually get going across here and we get some buyers coming in, sellers, I'm sorry, they should get through this low volume area down to at least this spike. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, or it's not going to happen anytime soon, and I'm not going to stand here all night. I'm going to take this to get another 15 minutes here. I may wait till the bracket change. I'm kind of surprised, but just interesting to note if they don't repair this poor high in today's trade. These two POCs right close together here, that's not good. That's why there's so much static. You got all this trade from yesterday, POC and the volume. The value area POCs right here, value area POC, I mean the TPO POCs right here. POC for volume is here today. So now they may come down, especially if the ES can break through here. See if we can get a little here. All right. Damn, look at that. Boy, they just cannot do it. Come on, seller. Look at that. Son of a gun. Well, how disappointing. Fast moves, too. And that's the killer right here. That's the killer. Well, I sure thought we could get a little more than that out of that trade. Huh. Well, that sucks. I wonder why not. What is it over here that's keeping this here? Now, ES has now moved value area way up here. Just as they have done over here on the NASDAQ. And once again, had I gone long instead of that short, I'd be up 25 points. Same way with the first trade of the day. I just can't, not getting the read here right. They're just chopping it, I guess. And I think I'll just call it a square. And I hate going to bed on a loser, but well. If you're good at trading the ranges in a trading range, or trading the chop, this is your market, because you got one, you got two, you got one, you got two, you got one, you got two, and they're moving it back and forth, almost 20 points each whack. So now, just a minute that I thought, well, I'm going to be clever and do that, I go long right here, and then all of a sudden the ES will fall out of bed, or this is my thinking, the ES will fall out of bed and down shall come. So that's they're right back down to my target here, or my previous entry where we sold that one. And I'm still thinking that it would go short, but I seem to be the only person thinking that way. I do feel like it ought to go short across volume at least to the, at least down here to VWAP. But I just am not in the mood to risk another 150 or 60 bucks to prove that, and there it goes. Just what I wanted to have happen one trade ago. I just didn't have my rotations right, I guess. Yeah, still not getting down there. Well, I was going to put a resting order there, but they've already moved off it. They came right to this volume spike, which I was talking about, and my target before. And now what do they do? Come back to the POC. Yep, exactly what they're going to do. So they're trading it from the spike up to the POC again in this high volume node. Hmm. Buyers are coming in. We're down here just hard off the top of the POC. Let's see what happens here. But ES is moving higher. If they can take out this high, should get some movement up to the upside. Get that up in positive territory so that we're not looking at a loss. What happened to the... Oh, yeah, okay, good. Okay, we'll keep cheating that stop up. There we go. All right. Okay. Well, two stop outs and a 160 and a 180 on the profit side. And this was a little bit longer trade. That was the shortest trade I think I've ever had a minute ago. At 1 second. Now it's 41 seconds on the winners and a minute on that longest losing trade because I wait for the stop to be hit. Maybe that's a problem. Had I not had these losers, I would have been long past funding. And so, anyway, there we have it. And it continues to go. I pulled that stop a little tight, I guess. We're going to test that high again. I probably should have not had that stop quite so, moved that stop quite so tight. And for the full 20, there we go. Yeah, it's breaking out big time now. And they repaired that. They have repaired that excess on the top over there that I mentioned by 3 ticks. So that's done like dinner. Son of a gun. Well, that would have been just a nice move to the upside there. Instead of 180, we would have been about 360 or something, and over the top, over the hump. As it stands now, we're about $1.50 or something. $1.62. So one more target, and I will be in the funded camp and out of the combine. And had I managed this trade a little better with my trade by manually trailing my stop, I would have easily been over the hump right here. So now it's a little hard for me to think about taking a long up here when we are at this rarefied levels. No, not that. Don't want to do that. Well, yesterday's value area high is over here at 836, so they may be shooting for that. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I guess it does. But I'm not going to try that. I just don't think that's the right. I write it to just below the VWAP and right on that high there. What are they trying to do, and are they doing it? Are they doing a good job of doing what they're trying to do? Look at how these wicks are so much longer than those teeny little bodies. Pretty interesting. Pretty darn interesting. I don't think I've ever really noticed that before. How small those four. That's 5 or 20 points right there, 20 ticks right there. That's a hell of a lot of trading in a short space, isn't it? I am disappointed I didn't manage that trade better. I got to get better at that. Not sure just how to do it. Be honest about it. But I sure would have been happy because this would have said 53 and change easily. Would have been another 180, no problems, with no heat, and perhaps greater than like last day before yesterday when I had that $400, which is 80 ticks or 20 points. Quite conceivably had that same issue here. Had I not been so aggressive with the stop, because that's what happened. It just right here where they had this little hick back and forth is when the stop got ticked. Oh well, anyway, green on the day. Not by much, but green on the day, and within $160 of the funding. So essentially one trade. About a minute to the bottom of the hour, half a minute to the bottom of the hour here, and I will end the stream at this point. I want to remind you that your goal is to trade for tomorrow, manage your risk, trade for tomorrow, have as many samples in your trading data set as you can so that your edge will manifest itself and you will be a consistently profitable trader. Trade what you see, not what you think. And be patient, be smart. And again, trade for tomorrow. So they've made the repair. Now they're back to trading normal again. They did trade across value, which I talked about here in the stream earlier. And not much money down here, but it's green, and it was not when I opened the stream. It was 160 down, so we had 2 losers and 2 winners. Again, there we have it, 2 stops and 2 profitable trades. There we go. All right, so I'm going to call this stream for right now. And again, this is the Tradovate platform. I'm not using Investor RT today, and there was no issue at the open. Right now, the only issues that I'm really seeing on Tradovate is the scaling issue with historical. When you look back, you can look at yesterday's stream or several others, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see the like this kurtosis. This day range would be value area high, value area low, and POC down here somewhere, and you move it over here, and all of a sudden, when it gets into a certain range on the screen, it'll rescale back properly and goes way up. Well, if you've got your trading here and you're watching what you're trading, and you're looking over here thinking value area high, value area low from regular trading hours, you're all wrong. That's not what's correct, and I don't like that. Also, I don't like as far as I prefer to trade Renko. Oh, look at there. Nice pullback. Look at that ES coming back. Yowzer, yowzer, yowzer. Now they came right through the value area high like it wasn't even there. Back down to that little hiccup that took me out of my stop. Will they try another bounce off the POC? They won't with me, but they may with someone. I'd be careful. Sellers are pretty strong here. Volume really picked up. Relative volume really picked up on this move down. Interesting. Oh. Big size. Well, there's some substantial size sitting down here, and it's, substantial size at every price. So. Oh yeah, I was going to look. As far as the Renko is just unusable to me. That doesn't help me at all. There's no VWAP. There's no cumulative delta. There's no relative volume. Nothing works with the Renko when the Renko charting is selected. So, and also it doesn't have. They don't have any wicks, so it's not Unirenko, which I definitely do like. That's pretty funny there. If you look at the Renko chart, it's like I made an arrow. I got below the low of the day of that run. That was stupid. I thought I was going to pick this up for one more brick, and I would be over the funding line, and then this all happened. Got a long here, got a short here, a stop here, and then another profit there. So we were lost there. $1.65 profitable there. 155 there, lost there, and then another 180 over here. And I mismanaged my my manual trailing stop. I should have trailed that up at least into this area and picked up another 150, 200 bucks. But I didn't. And I wish this Renko was usable because I really prefer it. And so I've searched all around there on their site, and extras this and something else that, and I don't see any add-ons or anything else. So I'm going to send them an email and hopefully get some back from them. They seem to be pretty open to adding things and changing. I mean, it seems like the system is in a constant state of update and progress. So hats off to them. And it's a slick looking program. It's kind of handy to use. That scaling thing drives me crazy, but anyway. And you can use it on your phone if you're so inclined, or on a browser. This is the desktop version here. All right, with that, I'm going to check the stream to you. Thanks a lot for joining in and giving a listen. If you find value, please subscribe and do a thumbs up. That way we get maybe some more listeners and community members. We get some sort of a dialogue going. Trade safe, trade smart, manage your risk, and trade for tomorrow. That's the only way you can achieve consistent profitability. And that's pretty much everybody's goal, I think, unless you go at this as just like a video game and who cares, then, knock yourself out, trade the hell out of it. But if you're actually going to make this a financial business and take it seriously, then you have to manage your risk and trade for tomorrow. It's not the big home runs, and all that stuff you see on YouTube of these guys posting big numbers. Because often every 3 or 4 days you'll see them post a big loss. So I guess it's 2 steps ahead and 1 step back or something. I don't know. I think the trick is or not the trick, but I think the right approach, at least for me, is to be patient and prudent and methodical and move ahead that way. So have a great rest of your day. Trade safe if you're still trading. And thanks a lot for stopping in and giving a listen. Please subscribe and thumbs up if you feel so inclined and found some value. I would appreciate that a lot. All right. That's it for me. I'll talk to you tomorrow around usual time, around 0800.